Hello everyone. So today we'll start with the numerical part for the chapter 3, current electricity. So in this first part we will take only few topics, and then we'll try to solve the other topics for the numerical in the next part. So today's topic 1, resistivity of a material. This is the first numerical. The resistance of a wire having a length of 0.6 meter and diameter 0.4 millimeter is 1.5 ohm. Find the resistivity of the material.
So we will start with the first numerical. In this, the length and the diameter of a wire is given. The resistance of the wire is given, and we need to find the resistivity or specific resistance of the wire. So as we already know, the resistivity rho equal to R into A by L. This formula we need to use. And since already we are given with resistance and the length, we need to find first the area. We know that for a wire, area is pi r square, where r is the radius of the wire, but we are not given the radius, we are given the diameter. So we can write in the place of radius is half of the diameter, so we can write d by 2 whole square. By this we can write d square by 4. So this is how we can replace in the place of area. So let's solve now. So resistivity equal to R into A by L. R in the place of A we will write pi d square by 4L. Now substituting or plugging in all this values, we get in the place of R 1.5. You see, all these things I have made it in the SI unit. So I'm just now plugging in. Pi is 3.14, d square is 0.0004 whole square divided by length is 0.6 into 4. So once we plug in and we calculate, my final answer becomes 31.42 into 10 power minus 8 ohm meter. So I will request you calculate this and get the final answer.
The second numerical, two wires A and B are of the same material. A is twice as long as B and diameter of A is thrice that of B. If the resistance is 4 ohm, find the resistance for B. Here the resistance for A is 4 ohm.
Coming to the second numerical, this is also based on the resistivity of the material. So in this numerical, we have given two wire of the same material. First wire is A and second wire is B. It is given that the first wire, the length of the first wire is double the length of the second wire, that is the length of A is double the length of B, whereas the diameter of A is thrice the diameter of B. So for the B wire, I have taken length L. So the length for A becomes 2L. For the B wire, if we take length as D, the length of A becomes 3D. And that's how the second thing that is given, the resistance R of the first wire is given as 4 ohm. So we have to find the resistance for the second wire. We know the resistance formula R is rho L by A. So now let's suppose that the resistance here is R and the resistance for the first wire, that is for A, is 4 ohm, which is given. We need to find the resistance for the second wire, that is for B. So as we know, the formula for resistance is rho L by A. So since both are of same material, then the specific resistivity or specific resistance or the resistivity is same for both. So in the first case, suppose for the A, my resistance is 4, which is rho into, in the place of L we will write 12. In place of A we have to write, as we know, A is pi r square, or we can write pi d square by 4. This is a similar thing that we have done in the previous numerical also. So in the place of this we can write pi d square into 4. But here d is 3d. Here in the place of d we have to write 3d whole square, right? So this is for A. For B, R is, resistance is R, L into 4 by pi. In the place of 3d it will be d square. This is for B. So what we see, that we have got two equations. The first equation which gives me the resistance of wire A, and the second equation gives me the resistance of wire B. Now I would do B by A. If you do equation B divided by A, if you do this, you will get R by 4 is equal to rho L into 4 by pi d square into pi into 9 d square divided by rho into 8L, right? So rho L gets cancelled, 4 gets cancelled here, 2, sorry, this is d square, pi d square gets cancelled. So I get R by 4 is 9 by 2. From here I can find, or I can write, R is 36 by 2, that is 18 ohm. So this is what is the resistance of the wire B, which I am supposed to find.
Next topic, drift velocity. Numerical 3. A uniform copper wire of length 2 meter and cross-sectional area 5 into 10 power minus 7 meter square carries a current of 2 ampere, assuming that there are 8 into 10 power minus 28 free electrons per meter cube of copper. Calculate the drift velocity of electrons. How much time will an electron take to drift from one end of the wire to the other?
Now coming to the third numerical, it is given that for a length of 2 meter and area is also given, the current flow is given, the number of electron that travels are also given, and it has been asked to find the velocity or the drift velocity of this number of electrons. So as we know, the formula I is NEAVD. From here we find the drift velocity. So from this formula we can write VD is I divided by NE into A. As I is given 2 ampere, all these are in SI unit. I am just substituting it. 2 divided by 8 into 10 power 8. E value 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb, and area is given as 5 into 10 power minus 7 meters square. So once you do this calculation, my drift velocity becomes 3.125 into 10 power minus 4 meter per second. So this is my first part of the answer, where I find the drift velocity. The second part of the question, it's told that if this is first part is to find the velocity, second part to for the electrons to travel throughout the wire of the length 2 meter, how much time it will take from one end to reach to another end. So for the wire one end to another end, the length is 2 meter. It is already given. So we know that velocity is length by time. So I need to find the time. Therefore time will be Vd by L by Vd. So once I substitute, my length is given as 2 and velocity is 3.125 into 10 power minus 4 meter per second. If you calculate this, then it would become 6.4 into 10 power 10 cube in second. So this is the time that would be taken for the electrons to move from one end to the other end of the wire.
Fourth numerical. A current of 2 ampere is passing through a metal wire of cross-sectional area 2 into 10 power minus 6 meter square. If the number density of free electrons in the wire is 5 into 10 power 26 per meter cube, find the drift velocity of electrons. Given that electronic charge is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb.
Now coming to the similar third numerical based on the drift velocity. Here the current is given, area of the wire is also given, the number density of the electrons are also given, charge is given. I need to find the drift velocity. So this is a similar thing that we have done this is the fourth one. Similar thing that we have done for the third numerical. So from this we need to find drift velocity, which is I by N E into A. Just simple substitution. 2 number density is 5 into 10 power minus 10 power 26 into E is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 into 2 into 10 power minus 6. So once you calculate all this, you would get 1 by 80 meter per second. That would be the answer, drift velocity. So once you calculate and do check this answer.
If you like the video, then press the like button, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon.
Topic: current flow and current density. Fifth numerical. The potential difference of 200 volt is maintained across a conductor of resistance 20 ohm. Calculate the number of electrons flowing through the conductor in 1 second.
Now coming to the fifth numerical, it is said that across a resistance of 20 ohm, a constant potential difference of 200 volt is maintained for a particular second t, that is 1 second, and we need to find how much of electrons would flow. mind you, they didn't ask how much of charge would flow, they asked you how much of electron would flow through this. So as we know, first we need to find I equal to V by R from Ohm's law. So as there is a resistance and there is a potential difference, there would be a current flow which is nothing but the flow of charge. So once I plug in, that is 200 volt by 20, I get 10 ampere. So for this particular setup, there would be a current of 10 ampere. We also know that I is Q by T, charge flow, number of charge divided by time. So if I have to find this, I can write charge, number of charges, I into T. So therefore, I can calculate the number of charges that are flowing. T is given as 1 second. I we have found as 10 ampere. 10 into 1. So this become my 10 coulomb of charge. But the question was how many electrons would flow. So as we know that charge is equal to N into E, the number into the electronic charge. And we already know electronic charge is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. So substituting this, we know that N is Q by E. So we substitute Q and E is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. So this is the number of electron that would flow for this particular time when we get the 10 ampere of current. If you calculate this, you will get 6.25 into 10 power 19 electrons. So do the calculation and get this value. So this is the number of electron that would flow through this particular setup.
Sixth numerical. Current moving in a beam has an aperture of 2 into 10 power minus 6 meter square. The total number of electrons moving through an perpendicular cross section per second is 6 into 10 power 16. What is the current density in the beam?
Sixth numerical. So in this numerical, it is being given that for an area of cross section of this much, 6 into 10 power 16 electrons are flowing per second. Means in 1 second of time, this much of electrons are flowing. And the cross sectional area is given, and we are asked to find the current density of this particular flow. So as we already know that to find the current density, first we need to find the current. So formula for current density is I by A, where I is the current flowing and A is the cross sectional area. Now to find I, we have this information that 6 into 10 power 16 number of electron are flowing for a second. Per second, that many numbers are flowing. So we know that I is Q by T, or the amount of charge per time. Here T is already given as 1, and also we know that charge, if we have to find, this is N into E, number of electron into the electronic charge divided by T. So we are given number of electron flowing, that is 6 into 10 power 16 into E value we already know, 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. So we substitute it here, minus 19 coulomb, and T is given as 1 second. So once you calculate that, you would get it as 9.6 into 10 power minus 3 ampere. This is the amount of current that is flowing through the circuit or through this particular arrangement. Now I need to find the current density J. J is current flowing per unit area. So already current flow we already know, 9.6 into 10 power minus 3, and we have the area as 2 into 10 power minus 6 meter. So once we substitute and we do the calculation, then we would find this as 4.8 into 10 cube ampere per meter square. So this is the current density that has been asked. Once you do the calculation and get this value.
Next topic, Joule's law of heating. Seventh numerical. What is the heat developed by a heater in 5 minutes when it is connected to a supply of 220 volt? The resistance of the heater is 50 ohm.
So our next numerical is based on the heat produced in a particular circuit. So we have been given that for a voltage difference of 220 volt and also the resistance of 500 ohm, where the flow is for the time 5 minutes or 300 seconds, the current is flowing for 300 seconds, then we have to find the heat produced in that particular wire. And we know from Joule's law, the heat produced in a wire is V into I into T. But since here we don't have current I given, we have to convert this I with the help of Ohm law, and we have to convert in the form of voltage and resistance, because that is what is given to us. And once we substitute I equal to V by R, we get heat is V square T by R. Now it becomes very simple, just substituting, since all are there in SI unit. So my heat also would be in the SI unit, which is Joule. So substituting this, we get 220 into T is 300 second. This is 220 square into 300 divided by the R, which is 50 ohm. So once you plug in and calculate, you would get the calculation. This calculation gives me the heat in the unit of Joule. This will be 2,90,400 Joule. So this is the amount of heat that would be produced in this particular circuit using Joule's heat law.
8th numerical. A 220 volt 1000 watt bulb is connected across a 110 volt main supply. What will be the power consumed?
Coming to our next numerical, it says that a 220 volt and 1000 watt bulb was connected to a power supply of 110 volts, and we need to find what is the power consumption for this particular bulb. So as we know that power equation P is given by V into I, that is voltage into current. Now we see that in this information we don't have any current given. So we have to convert the current to a mode of resistance. So we can write it as V square by R. So P is V square by R for a particular bulb. So from here we would know what is the resistance of the bulb. Now this is a fixed resistance. A bulb would not have a different resistance of the wire. This would be a fixed resistance. So from here we can calculate the resistance of the wire, which is given as V square by T. Now for this particular bulb, the resistance can be calculated from this information, because the bulb has got 220 volt, so 220 square divided by 1000 watt. So this is the resistance of the particular bulb. Now when we substitute and when we calculate this, we will get resistance at 48.4 ohm. So this is the resistance of this particular bulb. Now this bulb is connected to a connection of 110 volt. So now this particular bulb is connected, the resistance won't change, so this is the same resistance, and now the voltage is 110 volt, and we need to find the power consumption or the power. The same thing, we use V square by R. The R is fixed for that bulb, so this goes as 48.4, and V is 110 whole square. So this is the consumption of the power of that volt, and if you calculate, this becomes 250 watt of power. So that's how first what we do with the information of the bulb. We first calculate the resistance of the bulb, and then we try to see if that bulb with that particular resistance is connected to another supply, another source which has a particular voltage. What would be my power supply? So this comes out to be, for this case, as 250 watt.
If you like the video, then press the like button, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon.